Section 7.1, the parabola. So what is a parabola? It's a kind of a conic. So in conics we have parabolas, hyperbolas, ellipses. So what do we have in parabolas? What is a parabola? So parabolas, they come in 4 different shapes. One of them opens upward, that's the most common one. And this has a point here, the lowest point the graph can reach, call it V. And there's a line that goes in the middle of the parabola that splits the parabola in half. And there is a vertical line down here, horizontal line. If we pick a point on the parabola, if we pick any point on the parabola, the distance from here to here is the same as from here to here. It's not drawn to scale, but the distance is always going to be the same. So I, F, and H. So always IF equals IH. So in other words, if you have a point and a line, you can find so many points, let's say this point, that is equidistant from this point and the line itself. Next point, next point, next point, next point, next point. And if you trace them, you will get the parabola. So this line here is called the directrix. So this is the language for conics. F is the focus. V, we call it the vertex. And this line here, the line that split the parabola in half, is called axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. So now what we have here, each conic has its own equation. So the equation of the conic using IF equals IH, it has this. So the vertex has coordinates always h comma k. So it would be y equals a times x minus h squared plus h, where h comma k is the vertex again. Okay, and what is a here graphically? Well, a is graphically is the distance from here to here, so, and the same from here to here. So that's, we call it absolute value of p, absolute value of p. And what is the relation between a and p? Is that a is 1 over 4p. Okay, so a is 1 over 4p, p is the distance. So this tells us that the vertex is halfway between the focus and the directrix all the time. The vertex has coordinates h comma k. And what happens here, if a is positive, the parabola opens upward. If a is negative, that a, number a, it opens downward. So it could be negative or it could be positive. Okay, so how do we apply this to an example? Let's start with find the equation of the parabola with focus, let's say focus 2, 5, and directrix with equation y equals 7. So the best way to solve conic questions, I tell my students all the time, is plot the given. So this means 2, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5 is here. That's the focus. The focus is always inside the hyperbola, so the parabola. And the directrix is 7, so 6 and then 7. So we have it goes this way. So that's y equals 7. So that's the focus and that's the directrix. So remember the vertex is halfway, so it has to be somewhere here. And random sketch like that. That would be the sketch, because the focus must go inside. So if you draw it upward, the focus is not going to be inside it. So, but in this case, I see the focus is inside. Inside. So now I can find the coordinates of the vertex. It's 2, 6. So the vertex 2, 6. Why do I need the vertex? Because I need h and k. And also I need a. A is 1 over 4p. What is p? Is the distance from here to here or here to here. That's a 1. Distance 1. So that would be 1 over 4 times 1. 1 over 4. 1 over 4. So then the equation is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And a is 1 over 4. X minus h is 2 and k is 6. But notice something. The parabola opens downward. So a must be negative. So you must put a negative sign. That gives us the equation. You see, because it opens downward, that's why we put a negative sign. What about another example? Find the equation. Focus, let's say focus 3, 4, and directrix y equals 2. So similar to the one we just did. Again, plot the given. When you draw the given, you can see everything. What is missing, what is needed. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have y equals 2. That's the focus. The focus is 3, 4. And so that's a 4, that's a 3, 2, 1. So this means if you take the point halfway, which is this point, is gonna look like this. So the vertex has coordinates 3, 3. So we got h and k right away. And a is 1 over 4p. What is p here? Is the distance from v to f, which is 1. So that gives us 1/4. So then the equation becomes a, which is 1/4, x minus h squared plus 3. And see, it keeps it positive because it opens upward, not downward. Next one, we need to find the equation of the parabola. So find the equation of the parabola with, let's say, with the given graph. So I'm going to give you the graph now, and then from the graph you're going to find the equation. So the graph is given. So -2, 1, it goes this way, up, and then 2, 3, so the focus here, and that's v here. So now we need to find the equation of this. How do we start with this? Always we need the vertex first. The vertex has coordinates -2, 1. That gives me h and k right away. And the focus is -2, 3. So what do I need? We need a. We need a. H, k, and a. A is 1 over 4p, and p is the distance from here to here. In this case, that's a 2. So p is 2. So a is 1 over 4p, 1 over 8. That's a. And then we have y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So that gives us the equation of the parabola for the given graph. Next one, it could be the other way around. We could be asked to find, some people say analyze it, or just specify, find the vertex, means the coordinates of the vertex, focus, and directrix for the graph of y equals 2x squared plus 8x plus 11. So there are two methods to do this. So I'm going to call it method 1, and then I'm going to show you another method in a minute. So method 1 is we rewrite the given equation in y equals a times x minus h squared plus k form. Plus k form. So let's write that down. Y equals 2x squared plus 8x plus 11. So y equals 2 times. So completing the square is called. So I take a look at the first two terms, factor it 2 out among these two, keep the 11 outside. So now we look at the coefficient of x, which is 4 divided by 2. That becomes 2. And then square it. That gives us 4. So what we always need to do is add 4 and subtract 4. Add 4 and subtract 4. So you get 2 times. This is where we complete the square. We take the first 3, rewrite as something square. That would be x plus a number you square, you get 4 is 2. And then minus 4 plus 11. Then multiply the 2 in. 2 times x plus 2 squared minus 8 plus 11. So that gives us y equals 2 times x plus 2 squared plus 3. So by rewriting in this form, then I can get everything I need. We can get everything I need. If this is a plus inside, always you can rewrite like this, x minus negative 2 squared plus 3. So the vertex is negative 2 comma 3 right away. That's this is h and this is k, h comma k. And then this here is a. So this is a. That might help us to find the rest. So let's see how we finish it up. So first I'm gonna plot this negative 2 comma 3. And notice how it's positive. A is positive 2, so it opens upward. That's A. 1, 2, 3. Since A is 2, from here, to find the focus, I need to know what P is. So A is equal 1 over 4P. Cross multiply. So P is 1 over 8. So this means if you go 1/8 up, so if you go from here 1/8 up, so that's 3 and 1/8, so 3 plus 1/8, so that's 8 here and 8 there, 1/8, 24 plus 1, 25 over 8. So the focus would be somewhere here with coordinates negative 2 and 25 over 8. That's the focus. If I want to find the equation of the directrix, I need to go below this number, below this 1 over 8. So that would be 3 minus 1 over 8. 3 times 8 minus 1 over 8. 24 minus 1, 23 over 8. So that would be the equation of the directrix. So the directrix would be somewhere here, let's say. So the equation becomes y equals 23 over 8. Because it's a horizontal line, so it must be y equal a number, y equals number. So this is what I call the long method. So again, this thing that I got here, this is called the vertex form. Vertex form, because we were able to write it in a vertex form that like you can find right away the coordinates of the vertex, and the given one was in a standard form. So now let's look at the second method, or method 2. So in general, if we have any parabola given in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, like that, then the coordinates of the vertex, how you find them, it's always going to be x equals negative b over 2a. This actually came from also completing the square. Also completing the square. So you get from a, b, and c, you can find x. Then substitute to find its corresponding y value. Okay, corresponding y value. So the next thing to do is after we get the vertex and we have a, we can find everything we need. So if we need to apply to the example that we started with today, the 2x squared plus 8x plus 11, we don't have to do completing the squares. You can go straight forward. This is A, this is B, this is C. So x equals negative b over 2a. So negative 8 over 2 times 2. Negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. I got the x value. Now we substitute it back in to find the y value. So y equals 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 plus 11. Y equals 4 times 2 is 8 minus 16 plus 11. So y equals 3. So the vertex is negative 2 comma 3. So now we need to find the p-value. So from a, which is 2 equals 1 over 4p, we found p-value earlier was 1 over 8. And then from here you finish it up the same way as we did before. So now we only spoke about when the parabola opens upward. So when the parabola opens upward or downward, this is when a is positive, this is when a is negative. But for these two, the equation was exactly the same, just a was positive or negative, like this. So this is the equation of the parabola. Now, can it open to the right or to the left? The answer is yes. This is when a is positive, a is negative, but the equation here is slightly different. So that would be x equal, instead of yx, and instead of xy, y minus k plus h. So kh, hk, xy, yx. You swap them. And in other words, let me write equivalent, or you can have x equals ay squared plus by plus c. So instead of xy, yx. So this is the other form. So now let's look at an example in this. Let's say we are asked to find the vertex axis of symmetry. So it means the equation of the axis of symmetry. Y-intercept or intercepts, focus, and directrix for the equation given by x equals y squared plus 4y, and graph the parabola. So how do we do this? Well, this is A. A is 1. See, this number here is A. A is 1. And this is B. B is 4. So if we find, remember how we said x equals negative b over a? So before we said x equals negative b over 2a. Here we do y equals. So 2 times a is 1, negative 4. So that's a negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. That's the x coordinate of the vertex, and at the same time that's the equation of the axis of symmetry all the time. So the x coordinate of the vertex is the same as the equation of the axis of symmetry. Now we substitute y equals negative 2 to get x equals y squared, so that's negative 2 squared plus 4 times y. That gives us 4 minus 8, which is negative 4. So now the vertex has coordinates negative 4 comma negative 2. So we found the coordinates of the vertex. As soon as we find the coordinates of the vertex, we can find a, which is 1 over 4p. A is 1. That will help me to find, cross multiply, and solve for p, 1/4. Now graphically, the graph is the key to get the rest. The graph is the key. So I'm going to graph the given information, or the information we just found. The vertex was negative 4, negative 2. That's the vertex. And The other thing is, notice the a value is positive, so this means it's going to open to the right side. We're just sketching it like a sketch, quick sketch. And now I need to find the focus. So this is exactly here at -4. We need to find the focus. How do you find the focus? Well, the focus is inside, so you want to move a p distance. So from -1/4, we are going to add, from -4, we are going to add the 1/4. So that's over 1 multiplied by 4 by 4. You get -16 plus 1/4, -15/4. So this means the focus has coordinates -15/4, comma, -2, comma, -2. Those are the coordinates of the focus. Now, if you move to the left side, so if you take -4 and subtract 1/4, you get -17/4, which is here. So this is the directrix. So this is a p distance. So this equation is x equals -17/4. That's the directrix. So what we found the equation of the directrix, the coordinates of the focus, the coordinates of the vertex. We found also the equation of the axis symmetry, y equals -2. And the only thing left to do is to find the y-intercepts. So how do you find the y-intercept? We always set the opposite. We set x0. So x0 means, if you substitute in the equation, 0 equals y squared plus 4y. And now we can factor out the y, so that will give us y plus 4. And then y would equal to 0, or y equals -4. So this means if I go back to the graph, I need to modify the graph a little bit here. So make it 0, so it has to go through the origin and then down to -4. And that's why it says graph it, so we need to go back and make sure it goes through the origin at least, and then at it goes through -4. So the y-intercepts are 0, 0 and 0, -4.